remember his name either from Trials of Mana.
Starts with a V.
By the way, the lungfish's name is Linda.
What a magical lady.
You know, I just took a mouthful of tea.
All right, we're back with some more of Psychonauts, and we're still in Lungfishopolis. Goggolor will rise again.
I feel like they're doing like Godzilla and King Kong here.
Yeah, they're doing all of the like 50s
The
like Toho
kaiju.
and kaiju movies. Although King Kong was Universal. That was the American one.
Yeah.
I didn't know King Kong had a lot of sequels.
I didn't know
Like
it had
Son of
sequels.
Kong
I
and, like-
know it had a lot of remakes.
Yes, it did. It had the Peter Jackson one. It had Kong Skull Island, which they specifically made to fight Godzilla. They said, all right, we got to make this son of a bitch big. But he's supposed to climb the Empire States Building. I said big.
I know.
This sumbitch got to fight Godzilla.
I feel like Kong originally was maybe like a little bit bigger than a silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
But not like exceedingly large.
Yeah. He was large in terms of like animals.
Yeah.
But compared to like the 2014 Godzilla,
Oh, yeah.
he was still too small. The 2014 Godzilla is huge.
Yeah.
Like even like the other Godzillas, like he's a large size, but he's not as massive as the 2014
I
version.
almost wonder what would be scarier, having these giant creatures or ones that are like big but not enormous that are still destroying your entire city.
I don't know. I think one of the praises I'll give like the 2014 Godzillas and stuff like that is like they move realistically like an animal would. Like
Yeah.
something that large would not be quick.
No.
It wouldn't vanish like the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie from 1998 where that lizard just like they keep losing it. I'm like, how?
I do really like how they did the most recent Godzilla versus Kong. How he was more in the water.
Yeah, that's the 2014 Godzilla. So that Godzilla also appears in the sequel King of the Monsters and like the newest movie
Okay.
Godzilla vs. Kong.
I haven't
It's the
seen
same
all of
Godzilla.
them. Like Godzillas, I mainly have seen like the old ones.
Okay.
Um,
I've seen about 80% of the Godzilla movies, whereas I've only seen the original King Kongs and King Kong vs. Godzilla. I haven't seen the sequels.
Okay. I saw the one with Jack Black, unfortunately.
That was not bad. It just
I didn't.
took a while
Yeah.
to get
I
going.
wasn't a fan.
It has a very slow start to where if you like slow burns,
Yeah.
that's fine. If you do not like slow burns, that is a rough one. I am indifferent about slow burns, but I am solely indifferent for slow burns because of Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ, if
I
this is gonna be
like-
another
I don't
credit scene,
know
I'm
if-
out.
I don't think I like slow burns. I think that if it's like an action or like something like that, high action, high impact, I'm usually okay with a slow burn if there's like a side story that's interesting to me.
Okay.
But like if it's just like something that's not very interesting to me at the beginning and people are like, oh, well, like halfway through it gets so good. I'm like, I don't want to wait halfway through
For it to maybe get good.
for it
Yeah.
to possibly be something I might like.
No, that's fair. Because that was the spat we had with the last story. I was like, it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say it's a spat. I think it was just understanding each other's interests.
Yeah. I think we can go
Of
with
just
that.
like, I enjoy it now. I really like the game. I liked watching it. But even now, I still don't think I'd like to play it.
Right. Absolutely. Would you like to play Psychonauts?
I feel like this is one that I might want to play.
Okay. Because we're going full on King Kong. We got to
Yeah.
take on the airplanes.
It's a little intimidating.
Okay.
But I also felt that way the first time I was watching you play Trials of Mana.
Okay.
I was like, it's a little intimidating, but as soon as I got to play it,
Yeah.
it was a lot less intimidating.
Yeah, because you're able to, like, sit down and go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to be intimidated just because I go at a brisk pace.
No, that's not what I mean whenever I say, like, of course it is like, oh shit, like, you're grooving. Like, I know it's going to take me a while. What I mean by, like, when I'm intimidated by something is when there's a lot going on.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's like trying to remember everything that you need to collect, that you need to get to, remembering where you're at, what you're doing.
Okay.
It can feel very intimidating.
I get that. Okay.
Especially because I do tend to take longer breaks between playing, that I will
True.
often forget what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, with a platform game like this, it's okay because there's a lot of ways the game's pointing you to, like, the next thing.
Yeah.
Whereas in an RPG, and depending on where you stop, it could be like, especially in
What was I
older
doing?
RPGs, they're just like, hey, listen, we're hoping you paid attention.
Yeah.
We're not going to recap.
Like writing a journal, like,
Because older RPGs had, like, a character limit,
yeah.
and, like, they had limitations on, like, how much they could write
Yeah.
to help the player. So
Well,
they were
not
just
only
kinda
that,
like,
but I also don't think that there was, like,
a lot of that
journal.
was in the manual.
Yeah.
The game
I don't
manual.
think that there was, like, a journal. Because in Ys, if I take a longer break, I can just go to the journal and see what the last task I was doing.
Yeah, makes
Like,
sense.
But I do know, like, not every game has that.
That is a newer thing that just came with newer technology, and it's one of the perks of, like, internet culture, to where developers were actually able to see feedback from fans about some things that they don't like, about, like, getting lost, or when they take a break from a game and they come back, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that they were just like, okay, we can adapt to that.
Yeah, I do like that aspect a lot. So when I say I'm intimidated by this game, it's not that, like, oh, you're going too fast.
Okay.
It's like, okay, there's a lot to remember, a lot to do.
A lot to soak in.
Like, there's a lot of abilities, there's a lot of locations and characters, and so it's just a little overwhelming to
Because
think
something to
about it,
keep in
yeah.
mind is, like, if I, like, screw up or I'm having difficulty, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a much worse time.
No, we're just-
Sometimes
we're
when I'm
different.
recording, I just make the stupidest of mistakes.
Well, not only that,
or I
we're
forget the
we're
simplest
different
of
players.
things.
Like, certain things are easier for me than they are for you, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. Like, I don't want to say better at puzzles, but I feel like I have an easier time
Okay.
with, like, actual puzzles, not like find what this is glowing on.
Right.
Like, whereas you are way better at that kind of stuff of, like, hey, this thing is over here, I should probably go touch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more aware of my surroundings and, like,
Yeah. So whereas,
be like,
like,
"Ooh,
you
what's this? What's
may
this?"
like flub and take a long time to get something special that's really difficult because you know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm just not even gonna attempt it because I don't even know it's there.
Oh,
like, I
okay.
don't even know to look for that.
I got you. You know, like I stated earlier in this very playthrough, I like a little nudge,
Yeah.
but I don't like hand-holding, like, you have to do this, you can't do that. If there's a, ooh, what's that? I like the option of being like, oh, I could, or I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I also like the nudge to, okay, where's the point? What is the point of all this?
Yeah.
Just a little nudge, that's all I ask.
I like the hand holding as though I was maybe like an older teenager walking with my grandma and we crossed the street.
Okay.
Like, I can do it by myself.
Well, you've mentioned that, like, you don't find characters like Olivia irritating. When they're
No.
just like, hey, maybe try this.
No, if anything, I'm like, oh, thank God, I would have been stuck here forever.
Whereas there's some people that just be like, wow, just play the game for me, why don't you? Like, there's that perspective
But
as well.
using Olivia, I like it because you have to make the mistake so many times before she pops out of the pocket, like, "Hey, maybe we should try this instead."
That is true.
Like, so they do give you a chance, but it's like, once you're stuck for so long, they're like, hey, do you need some help? Yes. Yes, I do.
Authorities are calling
All
for
right,
a
so
big
here we go.
parade in Kochamara's honor.
Kochamara
After he
is
clobbers
coming.
the annoying
We're gonna
giant
have
Goggolor.
ourselves a kaiju battle.
Parade is
Oh,
big
boy.
enough. Kochamara promises not
The
to
end is
destroy
nigh.
the city. Brush teeth more often don't drill so much.
All right, so let's see. Battle Kochamara. Here we go.
Here comes Kochamara!
It looks like a little ladybug.
It's supposed to be like a parody of like the Super Sentai.
Okay.
Like Ultraman, the Power
Yeah.
Rangers. Like that is a whole genre in Japan.
Oh.
There are hundreds of them. It's not just like Power Rangers here, which is a mix of like Super Sentai and like teenage sitcoms like Saved by
Yeah.
the Bell. That's what Power Rangers is. Super Sentai is strictly like the action part
Okay.
and stuff like that, and more of like the martial arts.
Yeah.
And the like wild zany monsters and like kaiju and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's got guys in a rubber
Give up
suit
while you can,
or in a
Goggolor.
costume, whereas like you could almost say that like Sailor Moon is an animated Super Sentai. The transformations, the monster of the week.
Kochamera
Well,
does not
because
speak
Sailor Moon is its own
language.
genre as well as like
Yeah.
the magic girl.
Mighty
Okay, so anyways, with this battle, he's nice enough to telegraph his attack by shouting them out loud. So he'll be like, Deadly Triangle Beam, and you can reflect it with your shield. Mighty Ram.
Oh my gosh, who is that? Wait for it, Cobra!
triangle beam.
That's basically this boss. So you have to deflect his attacks, and then after doing enough damage, he will take to the ground.
So Sasha showed you how to save up your aggressive energy, huh? Well, why don't
You know what
I
he
help
reminds
you?
me of? And like this is a very obscure reference. Are you familiar with the term Beetleborgs?
Oh, that sounds like it's ringing a bell, but I
So
can't.
Beetleborgs was like
Ground vigor.
discount Walmart version of Power Rangers. In the same
Okay.
way like Street Sharks
Yeah.
was discount Walmart version
Yeah.
of the Ninja Turtles.
I vaguely recall, like you said that, and something like a light went off in my brain, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. It might have been something that maybe my brother was into, that I just like heard.
So because this guy telegraphs most of his attacks, once you read the tells, he's a pretty simple boss. So he's actually much easier than like some of the previous bosses we've had.
Okay.
Honestly, like the hardest boss for me in this game is the first one, just because of those odd angles and you're
Yeah.
constantly moving around that cube. You
Yeah.
don't have a normal battle arena, so it's just awkward to navigate through. Whereas these kind of battles in these wide open fields, they're not as bad.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm still gonna take damage,
The
but like,
terrain is easier to
I don't
navigate
feel
through.
threatened, or I don't feel like I'm going to lose. I just feel like, oops, I made a little mistake there.
Oopsie daisy.
Mighty Ram.
Come on.
Deadly triangle beam.
And what's nice is that, like, even though you deflect his attack one time, he'll continue doing it. He's like, he surely won't deflect this attack for the 5th time. So that's always nice and very convenient.
Overly intricate combination. Hard to avoid. Area attack.
But yeah, it's also a parody of, like, very common, like, action boss battles. Even though most bosses won't actually say what the attacks
Right.
are, they'll be like, hey, here's my hard to avoid area attack.
I feel like that's a really common, like, almost funny thing that happens, because it even happens in, like, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
When he's like, Alabama Smash! Like the villain is just like, oh shit, I know what that is. Like,
I let you down.
We did it. We saved the civilians of Lungfishopolis.
Get ready for Goggolor.
Now to destroy that tower and get their minds back. But first, to heal up from the battle. And you know what? We could collect some arrowheads as well.
Hey,
Because
why
we're
not?
here. As soon as we get back to dry land, we're going to go back to Ford Crawler. Because
There-
we have a new power-up waiting for us.
there is something kind of magical of when we're ignoring Wesker and he goes over to the cat like, will you acknowledge me?
She's like, God, why? What do you want?
It just becomes more and more obvious that you're Luna and I'm Wesker.
It's called a therapeutic perch. Why are you disturbing my therapeutic perch?
I just love it. because I'll like come over after like being annoying and you're just trying to get away from me for a minute, and I'm like, hi.
Is it that obvious?
Hi. And you're just like, ugh.
Just a little bit of peace and quiet. It's a quiet perch. Why are you disturbing my quiet perch?
And I'm just like, do you want to watch a movie? No? Okay, I'm gonna watch one on my phone.
I think that's why Luna and I like bond together. We perch together, and it's just like finally some peace and quiet. And then you come in, and then I hear click, 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 click. So like both of our hearts sink at the same time.
You hear that, Wesker? The little heart sinkers.
Take control of this freaky toad. I don't need him to nab children
You
for
and
me
me, bud.
anymore. I've got the brain of a little girl back in my lab that's strong enough to power a whole army of psychoblaster death tanks. Huh? What?
She's like, fine, I'll go into a different room.
I said in my lab.
I think you've got the muscles of a little girl, too.
Good one.
Freedom! The people of Lungfishopolis are saved!
Ooh.
Child,
Who is that?
it is I.
He said
the
tap,
creature
tap, tap.
whose spirit was
And now it
once
can communicate with us.
over here. Behind you. Yes.
Oh.
The creature whose spirit was once enslaved by the evil one. You have unchained my soul, and now I shall repay you, powerful human child.
Oh. Great. Well, okay. Show me what you did to my friend Lily.
By the drowned spirit of Oblongata, it is done.
By the drowned spirit of Oblongata, it is done. Okay, so we are now entering the second half of the game. This is where things get pretty interesting, but I won't reveal until the next part. For now, we have to head back to Ford Crawler's lab, get our new power-up, and see what's going down.
Okay.
But this is also where the game gets a little unsettling, because we have this mysterious island.
When it is your wish to travel across the lake, you may return to either shore.
Okay, so
and
he's gonna
some
be
use
like-
that.
Thanks, hulking lungfish. You
A
know, you
sense
really
of
aren't as
fast
evil as
travel.
people
Yeah.
say.
You may call me now.
Well, like
by
Flammy?
my true name,
Yes,
Rasputin.
exactly. Like Flammy or the turtle guy,
Yeah.
whose name I forget.
And what
I don't
name
remember
is
his
that,
name
noble
either
lake
from
creature?
Trials of Mana.
Starts with a V. By the way, the lungfish's name is Linda.
What a magical lady.
You know, I just took a mouthful of tea.
We did that a lot when we started dating.
Oh my god.
You were scared to drink. You'd be like, God damn it.
Just at the worst times.
And that was through like text messaging. I didn't even know you were drinking. When we started living together, you just didn't drink when I spoke.
It's just like, I'll wait. Which is what I usually do, but I just like, I literally had a mouthful of tea and you were like, there's a fish named Linda.
Ready to come back and
Okay,
get your
Linda.
new
She just said it.
marriage
Yes.
You may call me
Alrighty then.
Linda. What a magical lady.
Oh, you're a girl fish. I mean, of course you're a girl fish.
And might I mention the minty freshness?
Wesker, I don't think she wants to play with you.
Play with me? Play
In
with me.
recognition of your hard work, dedication, and mental agility.
All right, here's our next
I'm
ability.
proud to bestow upon you the official merit badge for invisibility.
Invisibility. We can turn invisible. Oh dear, that means
no.
stealth segments.
Oh no.
That means we gotta sneak.
I am not very good at stealth segments.
Well, let's see how this game does it.
Okay, let's play a game.
Do you want to play a game?
Look out!
I want
Another
to play a
sensor.
game.
Oh no, you're out of ammo.
No, I'm not.
You are now. Here are the rules. Take this guy out, but if he sees you at all, you lose. Go get him.
Okay, so just use
Hey, where'd he go?
use invisibility, and there is a cooldown meter.
Oh,
So like when it
well done.
depletes, you can no
Now
longer
that's
be
the power
invisible.
of
And
Okay.
then you gotta
invisibility.
wait for it to
I think
refill.
I've heard the kids around camp refer to this technique as silent but deadly.
Aw.
See, she did try to play with you. I was wrong.
Rasputin,
then you ran
come up
away.
here. There's
So-
something you should see.
Okay, so this is where the story starts to take a pretty dark turn.
Ooh.
Well, dark for a children's game, but still. Well, teenagers game. Nickelodeon game?
You're the only one left,
Anyway.
son. Can't even make a connection with Sasha or Mia right now for some reason.
Sasha said he had some official Psychonauts business.
So yeah, this is interesting. The
Impossible.
first time I played,
I would know
like,
it if they did.
I didn't expect this
No,
to come so
something's happened
quickly.
to them.
And there is this
Rasputin,
eerie
listen,
shift
you're the
when you
only
go back
one
to
who
like
can
the camp and
stop
stuff like that
Oleander
because
now.
nobody
What
else
about
is
you?
there.
Oh.
It's just Raz.
I can't leave this
And
cave,
some like
Rasputin.
wild bears and jaguars.
Not as the
And
Ford
like
crawler
it's
you know.
unsettling because
What?
you're used to just there being all these kids and like all
Years
these characters you
ago,
can
I
talk
was in a
to and
terrible
interact
psychic
with.
duel
And like
that
it's a
left me
very
barely
lively
alive.
camp. And now there's
Yeah, I
nobody.
read about that. They
And
said
it's
your
always gonna
psyche
be
was
nighttime.
shattered, that you lost your mind.
Daytime is gone.
You seem fine to
Daytime?
me.
Nighttime.
Yes.
So
When
yeah,
I'm
there is
down
this
here,
weird sense of
near the
loneliness
Titanium mother
in the
lode,
second half of the game.
The concentrated
because all the
power
kids
of
are
the
brainless.
Titanium pulls my thoughts together, keeps me like my old self. But
We
if
also
I
get a
leave
little
the
bit of insight in
sanctuary,
Ford
my
Crawler.
psyche becomes
He lost a very
disjointed.
important psychic
I
battle,
fall into
so
one
now
of my
his
other
brain
personalities,
is
with
like
no
scattered.
memory of
Okay.
who I really am.
So only when he's
I'd be no
underground
use
by
to
the
you unless you
Psytanium
needed
can he
something
regain
great,
like his true self.
A mom.
When he's around the camp, he becomes just a
You can call
camp
headquarters and
worker.
get
He
help.
doesn't have memories of being
The
a psychonaut.
Psychonauts won't
Okay.
listen to me.
That's why he's kind
They
of a
wrote me
loon.
off as a
He's
loon
Yeah.
just like,
years ago.
I'm
That's
just
why
flipping
Sasha and
burgers.
Mia have
Yeah.
to take on all my missions. Headquarters doesn't know I'm the one behind the assignment, so they'd never get
I
approved.
blink like that at customers
But
when I
Sasha and
don't
Mia
want them to
seem
talk
be
to me.
out of commission now.
Just right,
What?
left.
You
One
right,
eye at a
left.
time.
Be my field agent, Rasputin. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. You have to
All
find
right.
where that monster took the girl. And if you locate any
So,
of the other
our
children's
objective
brains
now
along
is
the
to
way,
retrieve all of
bring
the
them back
children's
to me
brains,
for
rescue
recranialization.
Lily, and find out what's going
Understand?
on in the mysterious island.
Oh,
And we're going to do that in the next episode.
Toodles!